Hello everyone. Between the last video and now, I've been running my experiment and watching the story actively unfold. And after 3 weeks and 7 sessions, the experiment has come to a close. 34 players had come together to make their mark on a small island, and the story, while not as epic as the biggest events, is something personal and interesting in its own right. A connected community of tribes, a constant struggle against chaos and vengeance. But that's going to have to be a video for another time. Why not subscribe so you'll be notified when the video is out, and join the Discord so that you too can be a part of the next event. Anyway, in this video, I wanted to share a little bit of the process of running an experiment from idea to execution, and talk about how my changes have affected things, what I've learned, and what is to be expected in the future. After watching a video by the YouTuber Joyful that presented similar ideas I was forming based on my own exposure to civilization events, I was surprised to see the popularity of such a critique. However, his solutions presented didn't seem all too effective in striking a balance between gameplay and roleplay for my taste, so I began to work on an experiment of my own. My main goal was to make the game a lot more challenging through restricting resources, information, and capabilities, as well as making forming communities more of a necessity as opposed to a social choice, all while keeping the Minecraft gameplay simple and familiar to players. To that end, I was more successful than I thought I would be, and I want to go over some parts of the experiment I thought were very beneficial, and some that fell short in a few regards. When it comes to food resources, I believe the execution was very good for what I was looking for. Players placed a lot of importance on their food supply, some settlements even needing to trade to have enough food to continue. As the experiment continued, eventually food became less of a concern, but in my eyes that is okay, because it's natural for established communities to move from those simple conflicts into more social ones. Ores left something to be desired in execution. Eventually, most if not all players had enough iron to craft themselves armor and tools, which was not intentional. While diamonds were closer to what I had envisioned, with a few having enough for a set of armor, gold was intended to be a similar level of rarity to diamond, but was never seen. The penalty to mining speed combined with the slowness of processing ore into ingots made gathering resources a chore as opposed to an exciting discovery. The lack of information, in this case the removal of system messages in chat like join, leave, death, and advancement messages, and the restriction of communication to just proximity-based text and voice chat had a very interesting impact on the experiment. The ability to hide information was very powerful in the hands of those who needed to do things that others would not approve of. It made sticking together very important, as one person caught out alone could end up dying without a trace. Going forward, I want to change my design goals to something that focuses on local resources, as opposed to universally scarce resources. A settlement's location will determine what they have, and their actions will determine how they get what they're missing. For food, I'm thinking that certain plants and animals provide more or less food, depending on the climate they were cultivated in. For example, sweet berry bushes provide more berries in the taiga compared to the savanna, or sheep dropping more wool and mutton in the tundra compared to the jungle. In addition to food, ores can only be found in certain regions of the world, so settlements may need to trade or even steal for essential materials like iron or diamond. The world will also be much larger, providing a further emphasis on keeping in contact with other settlements and investing in methods of transportation like railways and mounts, along with many other changes to help make the experience more fun, like removing the mining speed penalty on the surface. I'm excited to see how things are different next time. And that concludes all I really wanted to say. I wanted to get a video out before the big one, just to kind of let my thoughts run loose before I disappear for what may be 1 to 3 months while I get this video done. I know I don't upload that often, but I still want to have some sort of presence, and I think talking a little bit behind the curtain about how the experiment was for me and for the players is a neat little idea to tide people over. But I think that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching.